Today, I wanted to show you guys my mouthpieces, what I have, why it's there, and what I think about it. Years ago, I sold all of my mouthpieces and most of my trumpets. And so for the last few years, I've been accumulating new mouthpieces. And I thought today I could share my collection with you and show you what I have and what I think about it and why it's in there and if it's going to stay. So I'm just going to pick at random here. Well, first up is the mouthpiece that I currently use. And man, I really like it. To be honest with you, I have no plans of changing out of this mouthpiece. This is the 1.5C Symphonic series 25-24. So that's the throat and back bore size. It comes in a couple different varieties, but I really love this Bach Symphonic series. And just one word about Bach in general is it's affordable. And it's here to stay. It's not like going to be discontinued anytime soon. I use this for everything, literally. Like everything on my B flat, everything on my C trumpet. I use this mouthpiece currently. All right, let's check out what's here next. Okay. Here is the 3C 25-24. So it's a Symphonic Series 3C. And what's interesting about this is that this was the mouthpiece I got before I switched to a 1.5. The 3C, in my opinion, is an excellent mouthpiece. It does have a shallower cup, but I think when you're first starting out or haven't played for a few years, I don't know if you could go wrong with a 3C. It's the perfect middle point, and that's going to tell you whether you need to go smaller or bigger or more narrow or all these other things. So anyways, what it told me is that I needed to bring up the size just a little bit for the type of sound I was after. And yeah, it means a little bit more work in the 1.5, but it's worth it in my case. But the 3C, I still love it. And the Symphonic Series 3C, even better because I can put a little bit more through it. That's why I like these kind of opened up mouthpieces. Next up, we have the Shires 1.5C. This came with my Shires C trumpet, which is in the background there. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't even played it. I mean, I think I played a couple notes on it. It seemed fine. Be a nice backup mouthpiece, I suppose, if for some reason I forgot my other ones or something happened to them. Okay. All right. The next one. This is a Megatone 1D. Bach brand again. This one's really hard to play. The more mass on the Megatone mouthpiece fills up the sound, makes it a little bit more robust, even though it's quite shallow, it being a 1D. But it has a pretty open back bore and or throat on it because when I've experimented with it, I really got to put a lot of power into to keep it up. But maybe if I spent more time on it. Okay. Next up, the Bach 7E trumpet mouthpiece. I thought most piccolos come with a cornet shank, but apparently that's not true. The Maurice Andre Selmer piccolo model that I just recently purchased comes with a trumpet shank. And I don't have a 7E cornet mouthpiece with me to actually give you the full comparison, but I would say that actually I prefer the trumpet one. I think I would. I really like this mouthpiece. If you ask any professional players out there, most of them are going to say 7E or something close to it. But really, I think it is important. I used to think that I wanted to keep the rim size the same, so like maybe a 1.5E. But I think when you are making the cup depth smaller. You also want to make the rim size smaller. This is a fantastic mouthpiece for piccolo trumpet. All right, we just got a few more left here. Let's see. Now this is an interesting one. This is not Bach. This might be the only non-Bach mouthpiece I have here today. This is an Irving R Bush W2. I think they were more popular in maybe like the 90s and early 2000s, but well, this is a great mouthpiece. I mean, it's actually really nice. It's really comfortable. And I did a little mouthpiece comparator action. I don't know if you've heard of that website. It's called Mouthpiece Comparator or something like that online. And you can take different models and compare the sizes of things like the cup and the shape of the rim and the throat and backbore and all that. And this one is a little bit more depth and a little wider than the 7E, while the 1.5 is a little bit bigger than this. So this is like right in the middle of those two. And it is a comfortable mouthpiece. We got 3 more here. All right. Oh, here's just a standard 3C. And when I first got back into trumpet playing a few years ago, this is the mouthpiece I started with. It's just a standard Bach 3C. And wow, beginning students, start with this one. Really, it's a terrific mouthpiece, and I have a lot of respect for it. And I think more people should be open to trying this mouthpiece. Okay, only got 2 more here. See, I used to have a way bigger collection, but I don't even remember what was in there. Okay, we have now the 1.5C 2524. I already talked about this one. And that's because I have 2. I think it's a really good idea to get at least one backup of the mouthpiece that you use most often. Just in case I were to drop it or lose it or something. I mean, I could just imagine so many scenarios where something could happen to one. The great thing about the Bach mouthpieces are they are highly affordable compared to a lot of the custom mouthpieces out there. Okay, we got 1 more. And this one might be the best for last. Now, I want to preface with saying that I don't use this actively in any groups, but I discovered, I think it's a good practice tool, actually. This is a lesser known, but there's a lot of buzz about this mouthpiece. It's interesting. It's a commercial piece, okay? That's what they market it as. And it's a V cup, and it's a very visible difference in the cup that you can actually see. It has a very aggressive V turn shape in the cup. And then it has a little bit of weight, not as much as a Megatone, but a little extra mass, which helps fill out the sound because this is a commercial piece, and this is the 3MV, Vincent Bach 3MV. And I really think this is a fantastic piece, not only for playing really bright, but also as a training tool. I like to spend a few minutes a day on this mouthpiece if I can. Maybe not every day, but a couple times a week, I take out this mouthpiece and I'll do low range stuff and whatever. And you can actually get a really nice sound. It's not airy, and it's not like all those other shallow mouthpieces that completely limit the lower range. You can actually get a fairly nice low range on this mouthpiece. And this is why they say the V mouthpieces are great for players who have issues playing super shallow mouthpieces. Like, I got to have a little bit of grip in there. And also I'm so used to playing on a 1.5C. I don't want to completely change the way I play to something shallow. But as a training tool to perhaps limit the kind of problems you can have with a big mouthpiece where you push it into your face and your lips get filled out in there, and you get some bruising, you could get some inflammation occurring. This can be a training tool because it is shallow, but it's playable because of this unique V shape. It's extremely bright and open. And the other thing is you can get a really nice sounding high range on this. I mean, it really, like I was saying, it sounds decent in the low range, but it can sparkle in the high range. And I use this as a training tool to help with my register, to help raise the bar of what notes I can play in the high register. I've always been a very technically proficient player, but one thing I've always wanted to improve on is extreme high register playing. And this has been helping me because I have made tremendous growth in the past few months. And I take this thing out, like to do a little bit on it. Then I'll put the trumpet down, put it back on my wall, do something else for a little bit. And then I'll go back to my regular mouthpiece. But with this mouthpiece, I can really play, and I can really experiment with the brightness in my sound and the style and the range. So out of our group of mouthpieces, one of my favorites, well, we got this, as I've said, and the 1.5C Symphonic Series 2524. Those have to be my favorites. Those are what I use. And of course, for piccolo, the 7E. I could really go around with just these three for basically everything. So anyways, just thought you guys might be interested in what is in my mouthpiece collection. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm interested if you guys have any questions about these mouthpieces or are wondering about your mouthpiece. I have tried lots of different other mouthpieces and other brands. I used to play on a GR. I also used to play on a Yamaha. I had a couple of Bob Reeves custom models made. This was in the past. All those mouthpieces are gone now, but I remember a bit about them. And I remember the struggle of the mouthpiece Safari. So I really would encourage all students and players that are curious about trying a bunch of mouthpieces to be adventurous, but be careful and don't get into the trap of changing a mouthpiece so often. Find one that's great. No mouthpiece is ever going to be perfect, and then get to know that mouthpiece really well. And I can say, as a matter of fact, I have no intentions to leave the 1.5C Symphonic Series mouthpiece for all of my symphonic playing, for anything in an orchestra and most bands. No mouthpiece is perfect. Sometimes it feels great for about 2 weeks or a week or a few days, and then all of a sudden, or maybe gradually, it starts to feel awful. And then you realize, I just made a huge mistake by trying out all these different mouthpieces. So the struggle is real, and the mouthpiece Safari problem is a real thing that can inhibit your playing. And I've had a couple of situations in the past where I went on a very big mouthpiece Safari. This was many years ago, but I was auditioning for colleges at the time, and I botched some auditions, unfortunately, because I was playing on some weird mouthpiece that I had only been on for a few weeks, and things were not working out. I think one of the worst mouthpieces for me personally that I ever tried was the Bach 1X. It's a monstrosity. It's so big. And I think I was a freshman in high school, and I was playing that mouthpiece, and wow, you can get a really robust, like beautiful sound on it, but only for so long. And then it goes away. and then it's airy and it's strained and weak, and all of those benefits go away if you're not playing that mouthpiece correctly or it's not right for you. At this time in my life, the 1.5C is perfect, and I'm always trying to improve my efficiency with playing. I played in a band tonight, actually, a rehearsal, and there was a lot of parts, as bands tend to have, and I made sure to not ever let my playing get to the point where I was forcing out notes by pushing inwards, you know. I mean, in a few tight spots, you can push a little bit, but be careful, because what we want is the soreness in the corners and not bruised and inflamed lips. We want to avoid swelling at all costs, because then that just makes everything worse. And then you're tired, and then you're damaged. You're injured, and now you got to take extra time off to heal. And if you don't do that, then you're really going to cause problems. If you keep playing on it, if you've got rehearsals the next day and the next day after that and the next day after that, you're just compounding the damage, and you've got to heal. So that's my 2 cents about mouthpieces and why I'm on the ones that I'm on currently. And I hope that you can find the perfect mouthpiece for you. I wouldn't say to somebody to play the exact mouthpiece I'm playing, because we all have different mouth shapes. You never know. I mean, I would encourage someone to try these mouthpieces, because I do think they're great for me and maybe great for others. But of course, you got to find it on your own.